Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel for this, what might be episode 1 on a new series with me, Farmer Murphy. And the reason I say what might be episode 1 is I'm not sure if this will see the light of day or not. For those of you who are following my channel, you know I already have 3 series going, and I think I'm crazy to try and start a 4th, but Rusty Money started a challenge on this map, Comlands, and I just thought it was such a neat challenge. Um, and I told him I was tempted to do it, but I didn't think I had the time. And I thought about it some more and I thought, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. And so I'm going to run it in a little different format than normal. What I'm going to do is most of the work will occur offline, of course, when I can't be recording. And then I'll do a 15 or 20-minute video only once a week to update you on what's been happening. Now, that may increase in frequency, depending on the response and how much time I have offline to make progress. But that's kind of my plan right now. Now, this is called the 200 horsepower challenge. So uh, the premise is we can have no equipment at all, any equipment that has more than 200 horsepower, and no cheaty equipment. And one of the rules is you have to remove everything that's on the start farm, which I have done. This is where the start farm was. As you can see, nothing but dirt here. And you start with 250,000, which you can see we have. And with this, we have to buy our starting equipment and our land. So then for other rules, what's recommended is play on easy. I'm actually playing on normal. We'll see how that goes. If we're struggling too much, I'll maybe back it off. And then one day, months, and no seasonal growth. That's what's recommended, and so that's what we're going to do, just to make sure that things move right along on here. And it's something different for me. I don't think I've ever played without seasons on 22, so we'll give that a try. Now all the other settings are optional what you want to do, so I've pretty much turned everything on um, except for trailer fill limit, so that's pretty much my standard there. So if we take a look at the map, we'll see it's kind of like a no man's land setup if you haven't seen it before, where land's laid out in blocks and there's really no predefined fields other than this one here that's at the home farm. This is the home farm block, and you can see there's no land owned at all. So the first thing we need to do is buy a piece of land. So what we're going to do is we are going to buy this one right here. So let's buy that. Now, that happens to be just down over there. And you can't see it from here, but there's actually an old farmstead set up on there. So I'll get all the paperwork done and I'll bring you back in and we'll take a look at that. Well, here's our little homestead that we have, our little slice of heaven here on Comlands. So we're down to 117,000 now after placing these buildings down here and doing a little landscaping. We have a trail that runs out to the main road, kind of overgrown. Does cross the creek here. The creek's fairly dry now. Hopefully it stays that way and doesn't flood because we don't have a bridge or anything there. Then we have an old barn, although it looks fairly sturdy. Previous owners did leave some stuff behind, but I think we can put that to use to store some equipment and supplies in. And then we have an old log house here. Looks like it's in pretty good stead. It'll certainly keep us warm and dry. Lots of firewood there for us. Oh, a fire pit. Yeah, it's all right. Now the yard is fairly overgrown. You can see there's grass coming through, and it's just dirt here. At some point, hopefully we're doing well enough we can kind of gravel this area here. And I was thinking we might want to put a little track this way and cross the creek, because this is our area here too, where we have a old bunker silo that we're going to put to work right away. Don't think this area's been used in quite a while because it's completely overgrown. Here we have an old cow barn, log barn, but it looks like it's in pretty good shape. Should be pretty usable. And there's even a little area here we can use for additional storage or put some equipment in. Oh, hay loft. I wonder if we, oh yeah, look at that. We can go up there. So I guess if we had some way of getting stuff up here, we could store it up here. Now we can go into the cow area here. That if you see cows, your eyes are playing tricks on you because we own no cows. There's some static cows in there. But yeah, nice little cow barn. I think it holds 20, I believe. Yep, 20. So we can get some cows on the go at some point. Now, we do own some land. Traffic moves along here pretty good. Make sure I don't get run over on this side here. And what we're going to do is we're going to mow this grass and turn it into silage. And we're probably going to have to do that a few times to get money ahead. Um, but then hopefully we can get some cows on the go. But anyways, um, we don't have any equipment yet, so we need to get some haying equipment so we can turn this into silage and that silage into money. So I'll go shopping and I'll bring you back in when I get that sorted. Well, there we are, and we're down to $4,600, and we can get all our equipment, our starting equipment, back to the farm in one trip with one tractor. This ought to be interesting. So what we did is we bought a brand new loading wagon that was $4,600, and it is 23,000 liters. That one, I think. Can't remember now. Yeah, 23,000 liters. So not a bad size. Um, we bought a Deutz-Fahr, an old Deutz-Fahr, and it's 143 horsepower, and that cost us 31,000. Then we bought a front loader and a bucket, roughly 10,000 for that. And then bought the new front mower that just came out the other day that also windrows, so it'll allow us to mow and pick up in one pass. At least that's my plan. It's very low horsepower rating, like 15 horsepower. This is 95, so well within what our tractor should be able to handle. And you can just see peeking in our bucket there is a tub of silage additives. So I will get all this to our farm and we will start picking up some grass. So I'll see you there. Okay, well, we're here. I just dropped off the bucket in the main yard. We are going to mow up every blade of grass we can find, both on this side of the road and what I can get easy access to around the yard. See if from these humble beginnings, if we can build an empire or not. The only money-making opportunity we have right now is this grass and turning it to silage. The question is, how many times are we going to need to cycle this to get enough money to, I guess, probably buy more land or buy a few cows or do something. Anyways, I'm going to get everything I can mowed up, and I will bring you back in and let you know how much we got. So we'll see you then. Well, our grass has been mowed and put in the bunker for a second time. And why a second time, you ask? Why, that's a very good question. There apparently is an issue with the old buildings pack and using it on multiplayer. And that's where all of these came from, including the bunker style. They all came from the old buildings pack. And what happened is, as you saw, I was mowing the grass. I put all the grass in the bunker. I was at this point here, stopped, saved the game to have supper, came back in. I was going to do this recording. When I came back in, all the buildings were gone. You could see where they were, but they were no longer there. And so that was a little troubling. And that's what it turned out to be. They come and go. I don't know how else to put it when you're in multiplayer. So I had to set the whole map up again, and I did it just in single player. So it seems to be stable there, and I've used these buildings on other maps, not in a multiplayer mode, and they've worked just fine. So I think we're okay. So what I did is before I placed the buildings this time, I had leased a large tractor, mower, and 4-H wagon, and I mowed these areas before I put the buildings down. Just I want to get back to this point as quick as possible. And it's a little fiddly mowing around them because I had mowed all around them before. But what it meant is we got a little bit more chaff this time. Last time we had just barely over 100,000. Now we've got 110,000. But like I said, I mowed all of these areas, and because I was using butterfly mower, I think I was able to steal a little grass from that wasn't mine that I couldn't do with my little 3 meter mower. So we got the benefit of that. Also, because I had to do the lease return thing, we were at $4,600 when we bought our equipment, or just under. I think it was 4594 6 something like that. I remember we rounded it to 4600. Well, with leasing, 4608 is close as I could get, but close enough. We're up 10 15 bucks is all. So, and the other difference is, of course, our tractor now has almost no hours on it. It had 1.3 hours at this point. Um, so that's how long it took to mow it with our setup and get the silo compacted. So now you're all caught up. So if things don't look like they're quite in the same spot, well, that's probably because they aren't. Because, like I said, I had to start over again. But we can cover this now. Enough of that. And that can ferment. The other thing is I used the Omatana GD auger wagon to make sure I had enough room. And the reason it's all like, wow, so horrible looking is it unloads at a heck of a clip. I was actually planning on stopping it uh, when there was about 10,000 left so that I could, you know, even the number out, but it dumped it all on this side before I could even stop it. So, yeah, it's a bit of a mess, but it'll ferment. Um, okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to put the tractor away, and we are going to fast forward until we can uncover this until it's fermented, and we'll sell a load of it and see what we get, and that's probably where we'll end the episode. So I'll see you when this fermentation is done. Well, that didn't take long. Just needed to sleep one night. I guess that's the advantage of having 1 day months. I'm used to having to sleep a couple times. So let's get this uncovered here. And we should be able to put this into our loading wagon. And that's the plan anyways. If not, we could be in trouble. Now it's going to take a little bit, 2,000 liters at a time. Down the road we could look at getting a big wheel loader and load it up much quicker, or we could also use a some belt system or something. Just any wheel loader we get. We need to stay below the 200 horsepower. I was thinking of getting a high-tip bucket, but we did not have the funds. Well, this is working okay. All right, well, I'll get this loaded up. This is going to take a little bit of time, and then we'll go and sell it. Well, there we go. I have a full load, 23,000 liters in our loading wagon and 2,000 liters in our bucket. I have tagged the sale location with the best price, 388. per 1,000. I just realized I forgot to turn traffic back on. I had turned it off um, when I was getting the map set back up again. Another thing I'll mention, um, I actually have a quick front loader, but I have a Hauer front loader attacher. Um, in case you weren't aware, you can mix and match, and I typically always use the Hauer one now because it gives you greater lift. So in cases like this, where you've got a high trailer you're trying to dump into, gives you that just a little bit extra. I guess there's no road. You know what? We're going to cheat this one time and run across the bald prairie here. Really shouldn't. It's someone else's land. But just because you're along with me, it looks like we'd have to go down and back up again, so we'll just cut across. Might be a reason to buy this chunk of land so we can put a road that cuts across there. I guess you know, or can tell that when I came back from the store, I cut across there. I'll try not to do that too much. Shouldn't be doing that unless you own the land. Now this sell point was it was called animal feeding, and I think the other place that took it was the animal dealer actually. Okay, let's give it a go. Oh, back over there. Why would I need access to sell point? Now let's check this. Oh, there. We'll take it there, okay. So $8,900 for that. Now try this again. Let's see if I can dump it here. There we go. So about 9,500. So we'll get about 40,000 for our silage thereabouts, because we'll make 4 complete trips. So that's not bad. So I'll head back and I'll get these loaded up and sold, and then it'll just be a matter of advancing time until such time that we can mow again. We should be able to do another cut come November, I'm thinking. So that's what we'll do, and I will do that, get that sold, and then we might have enough money to actually do something, hopefully. So I think I will leave you there. So if you're still with me, really appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, I encourage you to hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget about the old notification bell while you're at it. But for this episode here on Comm Limits, it's Farmer Murphy signing off.